Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into my presentation for February 16, 2019. In today's video, we're going to be talking about potentially another 2, maybe 3 snowmakers that will push across the country, as well as the central and eastern United States. So stay tuned for that. As always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please do me a favor and yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button, as I will show you all my channel, and also ring the bell notifications. Also, if you didn't see my try not to laugh video about me snowboarding, okay, I'm still laughing from it. Okay, here it is right here. You could also consider please watching that. Thank you to my 93 subscribers. I am on the trail to 100, so thank you for every subscriber that I have and every view that I have for your support thus far. So let's get started. So we're going to look at the NAM 12KM model for the continental United States. And I did say in my last video, my definition video, that this is Winter Storm Nadia, whatever is left of it. Okay, and I said I didn't really want to talk about it, but I guess I can talk about it now. Because there's like a little band of snow from eastern Kentucky, southern West Virginia, and going through western Virginia. Okay, at best it could produce an inch or two, but once it travels into the low-lying areas of Virginia, and it's going to run into that warmer area because, you know, the heating of the day as it gets warmer in the afternoon, it's pretty much just that little snow band there is pretty much just going to disappear. So I can show you that briefly real quick. So you can see, here it is. Here's a little band of snow across southern West Virginia. And then once you get into 18Z, which is basically the warmest part of the day, 18Z, 19Z, just watch as that snow band kind of disappears. But on the latest run of the NAM, it has been saying maybe a little band of snow, if you can see a little cold pocket dip in. But other than that, it's pretty much in the next few hours, it will pretty much transition to all rain. Once it leaves the coast, it will be all rain as well. So that's just a brief little look at Winter Storm Nadia, at least what's left of it. Again, maybe another inch or two is possible of snow, especially in those mountainous areas. But what I will talk about in this video is another snowmaker. And this is our next cross-country snowmaker. Okay, this storm right here, 994, that's pretty strong. That's a upper tropical storm force strength. Okay, it was originally back here. It has now pushed its way east. Okay, so what it's going to do, it's going to trek its way to the east, and watch as we end hour 13. You can see pressure pretty much staying the same, maybe weakening just a tad, 996. Again, the higher the pressure, which is that red number right there, the weaker the storm is, the weaker the winds are. But 996 is still very strong. And you can see there's that little band of snow, and it will continue to push its way to the east. This is very early, actually this is overnight. Overnight Saturday into very early Sunday morning. And you can see if we do get under a little heavy pocket of snow, that will enhance your snowfall total just a little bit, but other than that, it will not be too major. It will be like more like a moderate snowstorm. And if this storm were to get named, it would be named Winter Storm Oren. Okay? And you can see as it pushes across Iowa, it will continue to produce some moderate snowfall, maybe a little bit heavy pockets of snow. But then we see it's kind of start to weaken and re-strengthen, but you do see, regardless of the strength, we do start to see some ice developing. And ice in a lot of winter storms is what causes them to be named. Because there's a lot of ice in a winter storm besides the snow. Ice can make a winter storm get named. So this could potentially be Winter Storm Oren. I wouldn't be surprised. And you can see once it gets around northern Ohio or southern Ohio, it starts to strengthen a little bit more. And Cleveland could see some heavy snowfall. And then again, back to the west, it is just plain old light to moderate snowfall. And then eventually, it will push into areas like Boston. Okay, and then our next winter storm, which is what I'm tracking, which I could possibly get this next winter storm, that comes midweek. I will show you that on the MSLP, of course. Radar on NAM 12KM does not cover that. Does not go far enough out in time. But you can see it does come from the south, and eventually, that's as far as it goes. So the next winter storm name is Oren, okay, which is our next winter storm name. I'm going to say potentially because it has not been named yet, just so you can see it officially. So again, here's Oren. That storm midweek. If Oren gets named, that storm that comes around Sunday, Monday time frame, if that gets named to Oren, then the winter storm that comes midweek gets named, that would be Petra. Okay, so potentially a couple named winter storms that we will have over the next couple of days. Now, to the more zoomed in, we're going to show you some mesoscale models. Okay, then for example, the NAM 3KM model. About what precipitation could potentially be coming. I like NAM 3cam is a very high resolution model. It produces legit radar. It is not MSLP, which is what I don't like. And you can see, here we are, this is early Sunday afternoon. And you can see in the mountains, we can see some sleet and freezing rain in the mountains of eastern West Virginia and western Virginia. And you can see some light snow back off in the Ohio Valley. Now this does go out 60 hours, which is basically what I need here. And you can see some heavier pockets of snow and ice. Some heavy ice potentially from central Ohio through western Pennsylvania, potentially a heavier pocket of ice, and also some heavier pockets of snow. So this storm can undergo not bombogenesis strengthening. Bombogenesis is when the pressure, which is that red number right here, like I told you, drops 24. The pressure drops 24 millibars within 24 hours. So drops 24 millibars or more within 24 hours or less. I do not think that is going to happen. Those kind of storms usually form off the coast as bombogenesis. And then you can see can produce some sleet, freezing rain in here, central Pennsylvania, maybe even northern Delaware. The northern tip could see some freezing rain, and some northern central Jersey, maybe some sleet, but again, the bulk of the snow will be off to the north. Okay, and then as we continue to press on through time, the storm kind of stays the same strength, so it could strengthen a little bit, but overall the strength will pretty much remain the same, and a very wide swath of snow. Okay, for one time period from Ohio all the way through Halifax. So that's a pretty big storm, and then eventually it pushed on out with some lake effect snow showers left over. So how much are we talking about? Well, this is how much snow we are, or the NAM 3cam is forecasting. And you can see the mountains of West Virginia, Eastern Virginia, we can get above 6 inches in those higher elevations. But you want to talk about low elevations and into the lower base of the mountains here. Probably in this little black area I just outlined, maybe 4 to 6 inches is possible. I would say more like 2 to 4. But again, for those areas, we could see some heavier pockets of snowfall. We can have enhanced precipitation amounts. Now we're going to go to the high resolution model, which is radar that only goes out 18 hours. Now, if you're looking at, for example, the 18Z run of the HRR, which is only 15Z, or like the 12Z run, then it'll go out 36 hours, but usually it goes out 18 hours. So you can see that storm in Virginia pushing off, and you can see potentially some heavy snow and sleet. This model's going all out with this. Some heavy snow, heavy sleet, and that could again produce another quick burst or inch or two. Then by the time the storm leaves the coast, it will be all rain. And then we start to see our storm advance from the south to west. Again, this doesn't go out too far. Okay, here's the high resolution model. Now basically, out of all the models I have looked at, I think this is basically showing the most snowfall for that area in Virginia I was talking about. Okay, so again, a quick burst, inch or two in the lower lying areas of southern Virginia. Maybe the mountains could pick up 3, like in the mountains of West Virginia and into the mountains of western Virginia. But other than that, not too much in the way of snowfall. Okay, so potential snowfall. Okay, maybe a quick burst, maybe a quick 2 inches, which is the most I've seen out of these models so far. Now, Pivotal Weather. This Pivotal Weather is the only website that I know that provides the GTPS model. So without further ado, let me present it to you. So this is basically another Canadian model. Okay, you can watch this. It's not really saying too much for that storm that comes in Sunday into Monday that I was showing you. Maybe saying another few inches. Maybe some deep strengthening, some heavier snow across Long Island, Campo Beach, which is a beach in southern Connecticut. And then pulls out. And then the storm comes from the south on Wednesday. Again, this is going to be a big hot mess of freezing rain and sleet. This is not going to be too pretty here. Not too pretty. And then eventually that pushes on out. Then the next run comes in, which is about a week from now. That's like Saturday, Sunday next weekend. I will not talk about that yet. So, there is a winter storm warning for the Dakotas. And that's where I'm going to open up my next weather story here. This is around the Aberdeen, South Dakota area. You can see if you go to weather story, right here. And again, temperatures are cold up in that region. So this time of year, we can pick up that heavier snowfall. But snowfall shouldn't be too much, maybe Actually, it could be a lot. Up to a foot is possible. So, maybe 8 to 12 inches, maybe a foot or more. Okay, but really, other than that, that little bullseye area in northern South Dakota, other than that, potentially 5 to 8 inches of snow. Okay, so daytime snowfall, 4 to 6 inches. Additional nighttime snowfall, another 4 to 6 inches, potentially northern South Dakota. And then potentially another 2 to 3, 2 to 4 inches on Sunday. So you added up 4 to 6, 4 to 6, that's 8 to 12. And then you add that up, add the 2 to 3, that is about 10 to 15 inches, which is what are the forecasting. So there could be a good chance we do see a good foot of snow. And my last destination here will be northern central Missouri. Okay. So we'll go, there is a winter weather advisory in effect. This is around the Kansas City, Missouri area. Okay, see this whole area is under a winter weather advisory. Okay, a big hot mess of snow and ice. Okay, and I will show you the line, the cutoff, where I think the most ice will be. So you see this line right here. So this black line that goes across basically I-70. If you're north of Interstate 70, so if you're north of Topeka, north of Kansas City, north of Columbia, maybe about a trace to 0.05 of an inch. But if you're south of I-70, south of Columbia, south of Kansas City, south of Topeka, Kansas, then we could potentially pick up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. But regardless, okay, 0.05 inches or 0.1 inches is basically the same thing. Just either way, be careful. If it's only a trace, still be careful. Okay, and if you want to talk about snowfall, this is like down to the exact. Okay, so maybe 3.2 inches for Kirksville. Okay, so this is similar to some other storms. The southern part of the storm, okay, south of I-70, you're going to see more ice, but less snow. If you're north of I-70, you're going to see less ice, but you're going to see more snow. And again, if you're right along I-70, that could be that really messy area, because you're going to get a nice dose of snow and a nice dose of ice. So you're going to get it either way. And maybe the northern tip of Missouri could get 4 inches for this next storm, Saturday through Sunday. So that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you very much. I am The Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time.